Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and today I am bringing you a list of series I want to start. So my shelves are full of the starts of series that I haven't even tried yet. I have so many series on the go, but I also have a ton that I want to start, that I want to try, because so many of these books are so beloved and I've heard so many good things about. So in an attempt to remind myself of what I have on my shelves, I am going to be showing off some of the series that I want to start. So these are all sci-fi or fantasy of a variety of age ranges, and I picked 6 books today to talk about, kind of at random. I do have a ton of other stuff on the shelves that I haven't started yet. That'll be for another video though, I guess. So diving right into what is probably the most popular of the series that I have here, I have Percy Jackson and the Olympians, starting with The Lightning Thief. This is by Rick Riordan, who is generally considered to be one of the sort of best, kindest, non-problematic authors out there for children's books. If you are of the Harry Potter generation like me, you're a little heartbroken and have been for a very, very long time. And I feel like because I was the perfect age for Harry Potter, I was 11 when the first book came out in the States, and I was so obsessed with Harry Potter I missed a lot of other things. So things like the series of unfortunate events, for example, I just never really got around to, and I think I was a little bit too old for Percy Jackson when it came out. So this was originally published in 2005, so I would have been in my junior year of high school when this came out, which definitely means I was too old, so I totally missed it. But I feel like Percy Jackson has always been beloved, but I feel like at the moment it is getting this big resurgence in popularity because people are realizing that Rick Riordan is a very nice man, but also because I believe that Disney Plus is doing a movie, a TV show, something like that, for the Percy Jackson book series. So now is kind of the perfect time to go ahead and jump on this. If memory serves, I believe this follows a boy, unsurprisingly named Percy Jackson, who's half Greek god, half human. Like his father's maybe Zeus? No. I don't know who his father is, but it says that he is a half-blood. He is the son of a Greek god. And this looks great. It looks really fun and charming. There's tons of these books if I decide that I want to get really, really into them. And it just looks like really good fun. This would probably be a good one for the winter to just kind of like binge this series all in one go. Kind of like a comfort read, I guess. So this is middle grade. This is definitely sort of the youngest of the age ranges on this list, but I do enjoy middle grade from time to time, even though I am much more of an adult reader. The next series that I have on this list is a fantasy series I've been wanting to read for a really, really long time. Just never really got around to it, and I'm now at the point where I not only have this first book in the series, but I also have the first book of the spin-off series, so I really need to go ahead and get to it. This is The Memoirs of Lady Trent. The first book is called A Natural History of Dragons. This is by Marie Brennan. I believe that this is a maybe alternate Victorian era set fantasy. If it's not, then it's got kind of Victorian vibes, and it follows a woman named Lady Trent, who is kind of the preeminent naturalist who studies dragons, which sounds awesome. That's really all I know about this, but I know a ton of you guys really love this series. I feel like everyone's always reading it. People are always commenting whenever I talk about one of these books that they love this series, so I feel like this combines a lot of my loves. I studied Victorian literature at university, and I just absolutely love it. The Victorians were mad, and I love learning anything that has to do with that time period. And dragons! This just looks like something that I would absolutely love. Why haven't I started it yet? I have absolutely no idea. The next series I have kind of a good-ish reason for having not started yet, because I needed to finish the previous series, which is another one I missed out on when I was younger. So this is The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. This first one is called La Belle Sauvage. The second one is The Secret Commonwealth, which I have on the shelf, not in this lovely edition, in the regular hardback. And I think maybe the third one is coming out this year? Possibly, if they're keeping up with the schedule that they were originally doing, we might have the end of this trilogy this year. So I'm clearly just talking out of my butt. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So this series is sort of almost like a follow-up to his Dark Materials, which I never read when I was younger, despite the fact that we had all of the books sat on my sister's shelves. I did read them for the adaptation that was done by the BBC. I still haven't finished that, though. I watched like 2 episodes of it. I'm terrible at TV, but I really enjoyed the his Dark Materials series, and I wanted to finish that before I got started on this. However, I finished that series in 2019, at the very end of 2019, so I don't really have an excuse to not pick this up anymore. But I do know that this follows a character named Malcolm. And one of the reasons that I know this fairly well is because these books are all set in Oxford, in Oxfordshire, which is where I live, and he lives at a place called the Trout Inn, which was my quasi-local where I used to live. We used to go to the Trout all the time. It's about a 20-minute walk away. So I am really interested in reading this because his Dark Materials books had a lot of landmarks that you wouldn't necessarily think of in Oxford. Like my old library was in the second one, I think. And so I have so much love for these books, especially now that I live in the area. So I'm very, very curious about this. I know that the second one, this one has baby Lyra in it, who's the main character for his Dark Materials. The second one has Lyra at university. So I'm very, very curious to see how that time jump works and to see what's up with the series, see if it's as good as the previous one. The next series that I have is a very, very popular adult fantasy series. This is kind of one of those staples of the genre that I think of when I think of things like I don't know, the Gentleman Bastard series or kind of Wheel of Time or Brandon Sanderson, kind of like the biggies of the genre, and for whatever reason I never ended up getting to this author's works. I have this one and the first book in his other series, but I decided to go with this because I really think I'm going to enjoy this. This is The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This is the first book in the Lightbringer series, I believe. Yes, I think there's 5 books. I think this just finished up maybe earlier this year or late last year. So I think this magic system is based on light and color, which sounds really, really cool. And it follows a man called Guile, who is the Prism, the most powerful man in the world. He is the High Priest and Emperor, a man whose power, wit, and charm are all that preserves a tenuous peace. Yet prisms never last, and Guile knows exactly how long he has to live. So apparently he discovers he has a son in a faraway kingdom, and this is after the war that's put him into power, and he has to decide how much he's willing to pay to protect this secret. So that is a super, super vague description, which you know I love. I hate it when books give away everything on the back, and I have a feeling I'm gonna really enjoy this. It's been a long time since I've gotten into like a truly, truly hefty fantasy series. So this is well over 700 pages. That brings me so much joy. I have never been afraid of long books, but I haven't been making the time for them, which I think is one of the reasons this has slipped off of my radar. Next up, I have a series that is in progress. The second book only just came out in March, so I have the potential to actually like keep up with the series, which is very exciting and unusual for me. This is The Keepers by David Dalglish. The first one is called Soul Keeper and the second is called Raven Caller. So this, again, big, big book. How many pages is this one? This is nearly 700, it's about 650 pages, and again, I really love a big, long fantasy book. So this looks super fun. It is about a man named Devon, who is a soul keeper, and he travels through remote villages as a priest and as a healer. However, this big kind of event happens and the veil between worlds is torn, and all these forgotten creatures and races come pouring through, not all of them so fond of humanity. So as the land becomes more dangerous and more chaotic, soul keepers are turning up dead. Devon must set aside his words of peace and accept his new role, the protector of the human race. I keep stumbling over this because my best friend's name is Devon. So I'm like imagining him with like a sword in a fantasy world, which is hilarious. But this looks really fun. This looks like something that I would just absolutely devour over like the summer or like a long holiday weekend or something like that. It looks so fun. I think that this would be a really, really great one. And as I say, the second one only just came out. I have no idea how long the series is going to be, but it would be really fun to have something to keep up with. And this very last series that I have looks so fun, and I believe it just finished. I think it's a trilogy. It just finished fairly recently, within the past year or so. So it looks like something I could totally binge, even though I'm not much of a series binger. This is the Greta Helsing series by Vivian Shaw. This first one is Strange Practice. So this takes place in Victorian London, and we follow our main character, Greta Helsing, who has inherited this medical practice that basically treats London's undead. Which is so fun. So basically, this sect of murderous monks shows up and begins killing humans and undead alike, and she has to figure out a way to stop them. How fun does that sound? This sounds amazing. Everyone I know who has read this has absolutely loved it, and it just looks like such good fun, like a really good fall book. So I think I might save this for later on in the year, but I am very, very, very excited to read it. It just sounds like it's so different from a lot of the things that I have on my TBR. So that is it for this set of series I want to start reading. I'm really looking forward to getting cracking on all of these. Maybe I should finish up some of the series I currently have ongoing, but whatever. In the comments below, I would love to hear if you have read any of these books or if there are any series that you desperately want to start. I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, so go ahead and hit subscribe, check back soon, and I will see you next time.